What I'm going to do is, I guess I'm going to turn it over to you, and you're going to demonstrate a little bit of your ice fishing.
A little bit that I know about.
Yeah, a little bit you know about. Joe is going to, is basically starting to enter the pro ice fishing circuit, I guess. So with a lot of his little nicks and trades here, you can kind of go ahead and is there special equipment that you need to know, or?
Not really. I mean, you can go out, spend $20 on a cheap rod and sit on a bucket and catch fish all day. It's when you start doing the competitive stuff that you start spending some money and getting into all of that. Next Sunday, I'll be doing a big tournament out on Wampler's Lake. And if you guys have ever been out there, that is so clear that you almost have to use a camera, and you can't even use anything else. You got to go small. I don't know if you guys can get. You guys probably can't even see this on the camera, and we go so small in the clear water that it almost gets silly trying to tie the knots.
So when you're saying using a camera, that's the only possible way to, and then basically what are you looking for, structure?
You find the structure. In real clear water, most fish feed looking up, and they can see in the hole. And it's just, you have to sight fish it, but you can't lean over because they get skittish. So you have to use the camera to see what's down there and stay back off. There's guys that use 48-inch ice rods on the real clear lake so they can stay back. So we go tiny. This little contraption keeps us mobile. You know, we can carry everything in the bucket and move around, and that's probably the neatest toy that I own.
Okay. Now I notice on your rods there, it's not the old style. Those actually have a reel that you can reel in on it too?
Yeah, these are, they're the new toy, the next big thing. They're called inline reels. They're almost like fly reels. There's no anti-drag on them, or anti-reverse rather. There is a drag, but it keeps it from spinning so much.
I
All
see.
right, you go. Guys that ice fish with the old school spinning reels, you get down there and it just spins and spins and spins.
Okay.
And nothing alive in the water really does that.
Right, so you want to, okay.
So with these, you kind of let it out and it'll spin just a little bit where it's tied. Twist it up from the last fish or whatnot, but once you get it, it just kind of sits.
Stays there. Now, what type of bait do you use for those, like waxworms, or are they still using?
Yeah, mainly waxworms, colored maggots. We use something I don't really want to talk about.
Okay.
It's a common bait, but most people don't think about it for panfish. And plastics are coming real big now.
Okay.
Key with those is just keep them moving because they don't have the enticement of a live bait.
Okay. So how many circuits are you going to be in this quarter, starting out next week?
Starting next week, the Wamplers tournament is an independent. It's ran by a bait shop out in Brooklyn. And then the Michigan Ice Open in Ludington, Michigan is also an independent. And then after that, we're going to hop on the North American Ice Fishing Circuit and do 2 or 3 events there. And they actually do a point system. And at the end of the season, you get invited to the first event. It's kind of like NASCAR where the big races, the big event is first, and championship there is in Minnesota every year.
Okay. Cool. And so how long have you been dabbling in this and then went into be like a professional?
I've been ice fishing probably 8 years. The end of last year, I decided I had talked to a couple of touring pros just on a vacation. I went up to St. Helen and met a couple of guys up there and started talking to them. And it sounded like it was a blast and something I'd be interested in doing. And I started writing some letters, and I got a couple of corporate sponsors behind me, and
cool.
We're going to give it a go.
Excellent. Very good.
I said,
cool.
I don't know, anything from little jigs to ice flies, and I'm not even sure what these are supposed to represent, but they work.
But they work. As long as they catch fish, that's all that matters.
A little.
I'll be darned.
I know, but it works.
Huh. So someone out there that would just want to get out there and like a weekend warrior or something, go out and have some fun. How much a rod and reel and a bucket or?
Yeah, and you can get a rod and reel decent for $20, $25, and everybody's got a bucket sitting around the house.
Right.
Actually, my first auger I bought from you at your shop. And most guys, if you go out, if you don't have an auger, most guys will drill you a couple holes.
Right.
The ice fishing community is really cool with each other.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And said, I asked a guy, a touring pro on Facebook, a question this morning, and he sent me his phone number and said, just call me. And everybody is really open.
Cool. All right. Well, congratulations, and hopefully you do good on next week.
Yeah. Hoping like crazy. It's a $16,000 prize.
That'll work. Very good.